Wait, can we not say like I have a lot of intrusive thoughts though
You say what you like.
that randomly happen.
But my question to you is, how do you know when it's time to cut somebody off?
Yo, this is really crazy because I've been like reflecting a lot lately,
Mm-hmm.
and 27 has been heavy, but it's also been fulfilling. And I say that because like last year, bro, was the shittiest year of my life. I feel like, nah, I've definitely had shittier years, but I feel like last year I really seen everything I needed to see like people was playing with me. I think like for me, I tend to go colorblind
Mm-hmm.
because like yeah, I can see like, everybody's not perfect. We're all imperfect in our ways or whatever, but it's also like people give you enough just to keep you like attached. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that was a hard lesson for me to learn. Like, especially because like, I actually did like, have to cut somebody off completely and it still like bothers me to this day. I think like to go back to your question though, I think to go back to your question though is like you never know until you like are really like fed up. Like your body like tells you
Mm-hmm.
when a person is not for you. And like, if I'm around somebody and we always cool, we vibing, always we've never had, like too many issues or anything like that. Like and then it starts to become like draining. I feel like that's kind of when like, all right, there's a shift in energy. And I feel like I'm a big person on energy. See, I'm having an intrusive thought because why the fuck if you see somebody having a conversation right here, why would you walk? Sorry. Uh, bro. Yeah, but like I was saying, energy. Like I'm a big person that's like big on energy, and I feel like if I if it gets to a point where it's like I'm starting to feel anxious or uneasy around you, something is not right. It's
Mm-hmm.
either I'm missing something in the connection or it's something that's too far gone in the connection that can't be fixed
Right.
because it was never addressed. And now it's got to a point where it's like it's too big to undo it. Like, I don't know. I feel like this this year, like the past year and a half, has really just been me like releasing dead weight from my life. And I ain't gonna front, that's some heavy shit.
I mean, like,
That's
I
heavy.
don't disagree. Like, your body does reject people, and not always are we like paying attention to our body and what it's telling us. But ultimately, I think once you once you get to that point where, okay, I can't address things with you, or it's too many things that are happening at one time that you're being blindsided by, I don't I don't want to deal. Like, I want to be left alone.
Right.
I don't want to be in a space where I feel uneven or I feel chaotic, in a sense. Like, I'm discombobulated, in a
Right.
sense. Like, my body is just not functioning the way that it should. Like, I feel anxious around you all the time. Or even like with boundaries, I think that people think that boundaries are, your boundaries specifically, are negotiable. Like, we got
Absolutely.
to
Like it's a
negotiate.
choice. You literally can just choose to not like abide by what I'm asking you to do based on my peace. Like my peace is not a choice.
Right.
It's not an option. Like so that's good because I feel like that happens like all the time now. Like people just think that if they're not happy within themselves, they're gonna do whatever they can to destroy your peace. And then when you build up that wall and you like, no, like this is non-negotiable. This is what I need to keep my peace. Why is it never like the same? You know what I'm saying? Like why is it like, okay, I'm respectful of your whatever you got going on in your boundaries, if you even have set boundaries.
Right.
And I don't question it. You know what I'm saying? But on the other foot, I get all these questions like and all this face turn up when I'm trying to protect my peace. Peace that I've never protected before. I feel like I've always just allowed people to do whatever they wanted at the cost of my own peace. And it's like just looking back, I'm a giver and I've never really like
Received.
I've never ever received the way I wanted to. Like I feel like, somebody should just be like they should just see that. You know what I'm saying? Like to go back to energy, like in your body, like, rejecting people. Like if we go from we always like open, optimistic, having fun, just doing whatever we want to, being our true selves around each other to it's anxious, it's awkward, it's like tension. You know what I'm saying? Like me, if I feel a shift in somebody's energy, I'm automatically gonna address it. You know what I'm saying? Because it make me feel uneasy, and I'm like big on energy, so it's like I can sense when something is wrong with somebody, even if I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just me. So why is it that people like? Why are they okay with not taking initiative to really see what's going on with people? You know what I'm saying? Like
I think what I realize with people is that when you start, and it'll sound kind of like cliche or like corny to say, but like when you really start to change or stick to what your new plan in life, it's they can't get with that. Like things that were okay before, and it's not even that they were okay, but things that you didn't really speak up upon, now that you do because you take yourself a bit more seriously and you respect yourself a bit more, they can't handle that. That's new for them. Like the program that they have in their mind, you're not following that. Like where they are in life, if they're not, I guess, changing with you, that alignment, like it is just off. Like, and also like when you start moving at a pace that they're not comfortable with and you start achieving a lot more than they are, it's like instead of clapping for you, they feel like it's competition. And I think that's where the tension comes from, because wait for me kind of thing. I can't wait for you to want to get your life together. I can't wait for you to want to take yourself seriously. Like with the boundaries part, because people disrespect their boundaries, they think like it's okay. It's okay for boundaries to be disrespected or people not to be taken as seriously as they should be. And it's like, if when I look at your other relationships with people and how highly you speak of them and how highly you treat them, and then when I look at our relationship and I see that starting to like dwindle, like that makes me kind of question you as a person. Like, like it's so like I don't want to say 26 was a bad year for me. I think, and I wouldn't say 26 was a bad year for you either. I would say it was an eye-opening year because the late 20s, like mid 20s, is kind of like, all right, what we thought our 20s would be like, it's the opposite, but it's not the opposite in such a bad way. But you don't really, you don't see people how you used to see people. And like, for me, when I feel like I had to cut people off was when I did that removal prayer.
Yo,
Like, and I don't want to say like people was being ripped out of my life left and right, but like I feel like lenses, the way that I would see people got removed, and the standard
for exactly what they were, not for who you wanted them to be.
Boy. And it's like, you know, don't get me wrong, when you got to cut somebody off, I don't want to say like that shit is easy and it don't hurt. Right. It does hurt, but I'm not a heartless person, but shit, like when you got to go, you got to go.
Right. I'm no longer questioning, because I'm not going to lie to you, like God been yoking me up, dog.
Like, by the hem of the shirt.
Yo, he's not letting go. Like, he's not letting go. Like, when I say he been convicting me back to back to back to back, and I'm just like, yo, all right, like, it's like you get to a point where it's like, I'm listening.
I hear you.
It's like, damn, like, am I really listening? Because, like, you still doing it. Like,
you want to keep people and you want to keep the dynamic the same. But it's right. Like, as you change in life, others change in life. And again, it may not be at the same pace or the same paces that, you know, you are. And you will hope that, you know, people, as you start to like be more insightful with your life and more specific with the decisions that you make and the choices that, you know, are presented to you, you will hope that people will do the same thing. And it's like never to like berate or like down put somebody down, but when those lenses is off, those blinders is off, like you see exactly who people are, and it's not even who they are, it's who they've been. Like, and like you try to overlook shit, and like if you look at the span of your relationship, whether it was for a day, a year, 7 years, 20 years, whatever the case may be, when you look at people now with those blinders off, you see a pattern that this isn't like something new. This is something that you've been doing, and it's like the mask is now off and you can't pretend no more. Like, people don't really like you the way that you think that they do.
No,
they don't like you.
I literally, that's so crazy that you say that, because it's like I said, this year has been, like, last year into this year, it's been very heavy, but like I said, fulfilling. Like, this year, I realized, like, even, I mean, this is always something I realized, though, because, like, my family is very fond of you and Ikera. But it's like, even outside of, like, them being fond of y'all, like, every time I'm with either of y'all, I just feel like I'm, like, killing myself a little more every time. And it's like, we don't even have to talk about, like, what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going through anything, it's just like the presence, the energy. Like, I know that I can truly be unapologetically. Oh my God! Wow, why did I just come out like that? Unapologetically. Wow, Jesus, myself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'm thankful for that. But I think that I really forgot that I prayed a removal period, because, like, it was like not hitting me back to back, but it was like I was definitely blindsided by stuff here and there. Like, dang, like you said, people really don't like you the way that you think that they do. And that is some really hard shit to accept. And I feel like right now, the point in my life is where I'm holding myself accountable.
Right.
So it's like I've always held myself accountable, but I feel like now, like, I've reflected on, like over the past couple years and just like my 20s in general. And I definitely can tell the difference in things that I want for myself or how I see myself, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like when I really knew to like set boundaries for myself and really cut people off, is just like you said, back to a point where you said people are not aligning with you. Like, we could be in two totally different areas of our life, but it's like in some way we're still aligned. But I'm not hating on if you're doing better than what I am right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think right now I'm kind of like in a rock and a hard place because I do have, like a friend, which, we had spoke about previously a couple months ago. She literally said to me, like, you show up for everybody else and you don't never show up for me. And one thing that I'm big on is character.
Right.
I've never been the type of person that you ever had to question. Now get me wrong. Like, if you feel that, you know what I'm saying, I'm open to listening.
Because those are your feelings.
Right. But do I always agree? No. I'm not gonna say I'm the best person in the world, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like I'm human. I feel the same way you feel. It may be in different variations of what you feel, but I still have feelings as well.
Right.
So why why would you like? And this is making me think, like, if my character was always in question to you,
Why you didn't say anything?
why did you continue to be around?
Right.
Why did you not address it when you felt like my character was a problem? If it was a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think, and not to cut you off with the addressing part, because and for me, I go off grid, and it's never meant to cause a disruption in the dynamic. It's never meant to offend anybody. But when it comes to addressing certain things, it's like where you are in a headspace, if you're not there to address it, sometimes it's you're not there. That headspace is not clear enough, and the things that you want to say, the intention that you have behind what you want to say doesn't always get relayed that way. And people kind of misconstrue the things that you say. And a lot of people feel attacked when you speak up. Whereas they don't just feel attacked, they don't comprehend too well. So if I tell you how I feel, you feel attacked or you're misconstruing what I said. So it's like, okay, I know the kind of person that you are when people address things with you. So I'd rather not. But in a lot of cases, it's not even that. You don't like confrontation. You don't want to feel confronted by the things that you do. And if I make you feel that way, it's like, okay, I have to be empathetic. And like you said, I might not agree with you, but what your feelings are your feelings.
right.
And if I'm not willing to address with you right in that moment, it could be headspace. But in that situation, I think, people, they like to wait until, all right, I I'm not really liking you right now. So now I got to empty the clip and I got to bring you down a peg because you're making me feel inferior to you, and it's not meant to be like that.
Right. So I think, like, my biggest question now for myself that I've been trying to just figure out, and I mean, like, I know that nobody could make the decision for me, but it's like, for you to defame my character, even in a minimal way. Like it doesn't matter how big or how little you do it.
Mm-hmm.
That takes a toll on people, and I don't think that people realize that when they are speaking out of emotion. And now it's like she call herself like, oh, wanting to rekindle and start new, but it's like
I can't unsee certain things with
I
you.
cannot stop hearing certain things that you just said to me, or even certain things that you've done, and it just brings you back to people really don't like you the way that you think. I've literally shared all of my biggest accomplishments with the closest people to me that I knew, and who some I thought would be as happy for me as I am for myself. And genuinely, I have two people outside of my sister that are like genuinely happy, and I'm just like, damn, like it's like a slap in the face. Like, what? Like, how could you still want to rekindle something when you can't and have yet to address and take accountability for your part? Every time I ask you something, you deflect. Oh, it's you did this to me, so I'm gonna do this to you. And I've never been a tit for tat kind of person.
Right.
So I think I'm like so like I'm just trying to figure out the lesson that I'm being taught here, because it's like, why am I, or have I been surrounded with people who were not genuinely happy for me, like who genuinely wanted to go out and say, yeah, like Kyra, yeah, that's my friend, like, yeah, like, and speak highly of me the way that I speak of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could not speak for, because we're both one and the same as far as off the grid. Like, sometimes I just need
I need
that.
my space.
I need my space, and I need my me time. Like, I need to get back to myself, because I feel like with so much happening, like in life and just in the world in general, like you need time to decompress and really just sit with your own thoughts and emotions, not with somebody else's, or you know, you know, your somebody else's and your mama's and everybody else emotions. Because I think when we don't separate the two, it's hard to not carry someone else's baggage and mistake it for your own. Oh, wow. Wow.
I like that. I think,
Wow.
and I don't want to say that that just goes for just friendships. I think any kind of relationship for
Right.
that matter. Like, I need time. Like, if we talk every day, yeah, like new things are gonna occur in your day, and I want to hear it. But when you need your space, and I've been trying to get better at it, instead of just dipping off the grid, no word, and just re-emerging. When you need your space, I feel like it's important to communicate. And I understand that everybody can say that they're a good communicator, but when it is time to communicate, it's a struggle. So I feel like even with myself, and like you said, having that accountability thing, well, not thing, but that ability to take accountability, it's important to say, okay, listen, I'm not where I am right now mentally, but I am happy for you, and I'm glad that you're succeeding, even if it's at something small.
Right.
I'm happy that you're succeeding. I'm happy that you're well. And in any way that I can pour into your cup, even if my cup is empty, I want to be able to be there for you. But in this time, my cup is so empty. So I need a minute to myself. A lot of people, they can't accept that because the way that you're meant, they think that you're meant to show up for them. You don't get that in return when it's time for them to recuperate and get their mind right. you don't ask for more than a person can give. And I feel like when you're going through something and people need you to show up for them because they're going through something, it's like, okay, one of the two has to be sacrificed. And my issues are not going to be sacrificed. Your issues got to be sacrificed so you can show up for me. Or if you're accomplishing something, but I'm going through something, I can't clap for you because this thing that I'm going through is way too much for me to even just do a simple I'm proud of you, or send you that praise for accomplishing even the smallest thing. But I also feel like, pardon, the acknowledgement, like if we're in a stage of accountability, we're not perfect beings, and 27 is really that execution year of, all right, I say I want to do not just anything physical, but like spiritually. Like I want to get more in tune with myself emotionally. I want to get more in tune with myself. I want to do all of these different things. People kind of hold you back to where in a time where you weren't.
Yo.
And it's like I'm not there no more. Like, and one major thing, like the fact that I'm not there anymore mentally, emotionally, or so physically explosive where we got to argue and I got to be all rah rah to get my point across, they try to hold you back there. And it's like we keep going back to boundaries. And it's like when people they overstep your boundaries or they try to teeter that line to overstep, and you're not quick to argue, you're not quick to be
not giving them the reaction they expect.
I'm not giving you that satisfaction. It's like, why? Like why you not giving me that? I'm not that person no more. And the fact that you want me to be that person shows that you don't appreciate the growth that I've made. You don't appreciate where I am. And
like,
we're not there.
Why, like, you're questioning me, why can I not show up for you? And you really should be saying, have I shown up recently the way that she needs me to show up, even if she didn't say anything?
What you need?
Like, I think, like, the biggest question I kept having, like, just in my reflective stages is like, why can nobody see that I'm not the mistakes that I made?
Like I'm not when you make mistakes, when you how can I say it? When you make mistakes, it's a learning curve for yourself.
Right.
And it's something that you take with you for the rest of your life. And I was taught last year that you got to give yourself grace and you got to give others grace. And I believe that if you give if someone is giving you grace, that means that you worked for that.
Right.
And granted, and I said this yesterday for my morning message, that we're not responsible. We don't determine what people deserve. Even if we think that, all right, you've been a shitty person and you've done shitty things, you don't deserve this. You don't deserve love. You don't deserve good fortune and things like that. But you deserve what you deserve. Whether or not you treat it well or not, you deserve that. Nobody should go without. But as far as what people receive from us, whether it's grace, whether it's love, whether it's respect, whatever it is that they're coming to get from us, we determine if you deserve that or not from us. So if I'm giving you grace, that means you worked for that. That means that you're showing up in a way that, all right, I made this mistake, this affected you, or this affected the people that I care about in XYZ ways. Let me make this improvement not just for them, but for myself.
Right.
And that way, when it is time for me to receive or me to ask for your grace or your understanding, I can receive that because I have something to show for that.
So let me ask you, do you feel like you should teach people, like, come on, because I got it, but it's just like, God got me going every which way right now. So you, I've never ever like had to ask for you to give me grace for anything. Like, I've always been able to just get the real, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of anything. And I've always asked you, you know, like if you need, you know, you have the space. And I also, before I come to you,
I love that. I
I
love the do we
come,
have room?
yeah, because I know how it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people really just don't have the room to sustain any other issues outside of whatever they're already dealing with.
Right.
It could be their own issues, issues at work, it could be anything. So I feel like, you know, do you feel like that, and this could be like relationships, friendships, whatever, like, you know, people always like, oh, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to treat me. Like, do you feel like you always need to tell somebody, like, not necessarily how to give you grace, or like, why do you feel like, not to say like you, but why do we as humans feel like we have to ask for grace? Like, why is that just something that's not given? Like, just looking at somebody, and I guess it comes into like how people were raised and just how you are seeing yourself as, you know, like a growing individual.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, grace, and you my friend, or I'm in a relationship with you, or I'm dealing with you any type of way, I personally feel like I shouldn't have to ask you for that. You should just be able to give that to me, regardless of what is actually, like, how you see the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could see a situation, the same situation, in different ways. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Right.
like, I shouldn't feel like I would have to ask somebody, like, to give me grace. For example, like I said, like, we're always, do you have room? You know what I'm saying? And we're completely open and transparent about, yeah, like right now I just really
I don't got it.
I don't have it in me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna be like, well, damn, like, I ain't talked to you in mad longer. Oh, you know, like, I don't, I would never want you to feel like I'm only coming to you with problems. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And then it's like, also, I would never want you to feel like I'm just coming to you with issue after issue after issue. But you're not holding me accountable, and I'm also not taking my own accountability for what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me coming, and I'm like, damn, like, this happened in this relationship, this happened in this friendship, and it's like a common denominator, and it's just making me feel like, okay, like, is the problem really me? Like, without me even telling you my piece that I've taken from a situation, you already like, all right, giving me grace off it. Now, you could say like, oh yeah, like, I ain't going front, dog, like, that is a little, like, you definitely, you know, could have handled the situation differently, or, you know, that this ain't typically you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you're not off rip, like, going for the jugular. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm coming to you about anything, you're not off rip taking the negatives. And I feel like maybe that's why I'm confused. Like, people should just be able to give grace regardless, like, of you having to say something. But I think it, like I said, it just ties into how you were raised and how people see their self as people, you know, because I feel like in my communications class recently, people really are not good communicators, like you
They're
said.
not. Like,
They're not, and I am working on it. I'm not 100%.
but you
I
make the
overly
effort.
feel so.
So like with the whole grace thing, being taught that, it wasn't in a sense of, not receiving it from
Yeah,
people, but giving it to myself. Like when we were walking over here, you were saying how life is not the way that you are used to. And it's like you're not used to it, and you feel like, okay, I'm supposed to be here,
right.
where okay, I'm not 100%, but I'm not at zero.
Right.
So even if you at 25, you still somewhere. And giving yourself grace is acknowledging where you are. Like even if we look at the planks that are on this dock, again, even if you set one, granted you got all this space that you got to fill, you still were able to lay one thing down. You were able to do something. But when it comes to people, it's the same thing. Like if you're not, when I look at your life, and not in comparison to mine, but when I look at your life and I look at how you are, not just with yourself but with others outside of me, if when somebody needs something, are you willing to extend your hand without feeling like you need to receive? Like, am I willing to give you not advice but a listening ear because you need it? Or am I willing to give you a word because you need it?
Right.
Even if, again, even if my cup is at 25%, if I can give you a portion of my 25 to get you to a completion or to a space where you feel comfortable to now, okay, now that you need it, I can extend that back to you because I've been able to recuperate what you were able to give me.
Right.
But also, I think that, like I said, when you look at people and how they deal with themselves, if I don't treat myself with the highest regard, please do not think that you are the exception.
Right.
Because
Literally.
with aside from grace, the way that people treat themselves and the way that people treat others outside of you, you are not an exception to that. Like I had someone say to me, I don't think that this thing that people do is going to be successful. Like you're not going to make any, you're not going to be successful from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, I felt a way because ultimately, like I said, I'm not an exception to the rule. I'm not an exception to how you feel.
Right.
So to try to exclude myself from your that way of thinking, it's like, okay, I can't really give you grace because you believe that. And when you look at me, you believe that. Like you
Right.
can't tell me that, oh, I hate people who bake and I own a bakery. People
Right.
who own bakeries, they don't go far in life. Oh, but I support you. You can't.
Right.
100% you can't. But again, you try to give people grace in a sense of, okay, I know you, and I know that you wouldn't mean or do anything malicious to me or anything that's gonna affect our relationship. But I can't give you grace when you make it, not even make it hard, you don't want it. You show me that you don't want grace. But again, if you're making the effort to change and to be better and to be receptive to what people are saying to you and what people are trying to give you, then yeah, you absolutely deserve grace. And anybody who is making, again, making an effort to accept, and like my mom would all, like she always says, like, I can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves.
Right.
So if I'm trying my best to extend this, and again, it doesn't have to be advice. If I'm doing my best, like giving you grace, you should be receptive to that. You should want to do your best to obtain that, to keep that. But I don't think, not everybody deserves grace. But again, if you're the kind of person who's making that effort to receive that and be receptive to change, absolutely, you deserve for people to understand and accept your progress, and to appreciate your progress per se. Because again, I'm putting in that effort. You can see that. And I think, like, the other day I was talking to my therapist, and she told me the things that you do in private, the work that you put in private, absolutely gets shown in public. So when she said it, like, I didn't understand what she meant until I actually saw it. Like, again, if you're putting in that work and you're trying to be better at communicating with people, hey, I need my space right now, hey, I'm not at 100%, hey, like, this is not really going the way that I thought that it would, and I want to, but I can't show up for you in the way that I would like to. But here's something. You're making that effort. That growth is being shown, and I can see that. But with other people, it's like it's all talk. Like, oh, I've tried being better. Okay, I'm not seeing that, and it's not putting you down or trying to berate you for not doing 100%, but you at 75. You really aren't making the growth that you think that you are, because what I see with a lot of people is they'll quite literally say, I'm making growth and I've changed, and then turn around, be in the same situation, and do the same exact thing that they did in a previous situation. And I think it was either last month or, yeah, I think it was early last month. You and I were talking, and I told you that the way that you with different people, they're not the same. Even if the situation is the same, you have to handle it based off of the progress that you've made, and you can't undo your progress. Whereas with a lot of people, I'm going to undo my progress because this right here, it feels exactly the same. It's the exact same situation. Let me handle it the exact same way. And whatever the outcome is going to be, that's what it is. And it's like, you can't expect to be handling shit the same way. You can't have no different result. It's going to be the same. So I also think that's another reason why I would have to cut somebody off, is because you quite literally, hold on, I gotta double check the mic. Is yours on? You're still green? Yeah. That's another reason why I would feel like I gotta cut somebody off, is because if I'm making all this growth and all this progress, even if it's slow progress, even if it's little growth, if I'm doing that, my expectation for those around me, you should be making some form of growth in your own way. And when you and I communicate, I see growth all the time. And I'm thankful, like, we never had to have a moment where we dislike each other. And I'm grateful. Yeah.
I was trying.
I'm grateful that we never had a moment where the issue at hand superseded our levels of communication.
Right.
And I don't personally think that we ever had an issue that we couldn't work through. I feel like we've also grown a lot. There's also been a lot of times where we're not in a space where we have to kind of disregard how we communicate. I also feel like when
Any video too, like, whew,
this is lovely stuff.
like,
Um,
oh, I'm sorry. There's a blue dragonfly right there. I've never seen a blue dragonfly.
bitch, I don't
Sorry.
listen. I got these prescriptions. I ain't seeing not a goddamn thing.
It just flew over the wire, but it was really cool. It was like a baby blue dragonfly.
A bird, not a few minutes ago, a bird came over and it grabbed something out the water and it dropped it. But I think with a lot of people nowadays, it's like the empathy that they lack for not just themselves but for others is another major reason why you got to cut people off. And I think when people say, oh, you know, I'm such an empath, it's like, okay, how do you figure? Yeah, I think, you know, people, they always like to say that they're empaths and, oh, I care about what people, how they feel. And okay, but when I need you to acknowledge how I feel, because I again, I extend that same grace to you when you need it, and you don't ever have to ask for it. But when I need it, it's like you being not helpful. You're not being empathetic. You're trying to be a Molly. Be a Molly from Insecure. Like you're not actually trying to be helpful or try to be understanding to.
It's all about you.
It's about you. Like
Main characters.
And it's like it affects you when that kind of like shifts, like when those roles kind of reverse and you're not, I don't want to say not important anymore, but not in the spotlight when life isn't kind of going, and it's not even that life is not going good for you, but your life is still like there are no like there's no spike in your life. It's just still like it don't got to be no negativity. It doesn't have to be anything that you don't feel okay with. It's just simply whatchamacallit. It's not in a space that you're used to.
I'm trying to be still.
Whatchamacallit. Yeah, like I feel like people kind of use your life as their stepping stone, and they're used to something always being wrong in your life where they gotta be the one that, no, I don't want to say fix it per se, but be the voice of reason in your life. And when you kind of, this is insane. um what's them call it?
That's smart. She stayed up. Don't bring your ass
I don't know. It's the same thing. It's just, but because we don't caught so much good conversation, I don't want to cut it and have to start over.
Yo, so like this topic is really crazy too because I feel like I lost my equal, dog. And it's like equal in the sense of damn, like you could really equal in the sense of like brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like due to like the recent like interaction that I've had with this person, like we connect very strongly over music. And I think I'm teetering a little bit with like I can't unsee the disrespect. And it's so hard because I feel like like I said, like I'm a giver. I'm such a giver, and it don't matter if my cup is full, if it's empty, if it's half full. I always give with no intention of receiving anything back because me, my biggest thing is I feel like I'm just here on earth doing God's work through me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not here to give advice or be like this have myself on a high pedestal because you know what I'm saying. I know like that God is always working through me to help other people, and I feel like that is a part of the reason why I never have. You know, I'm complacent with not receiving from people because I'm like okay, like even if I'm doing this work, you know, God is doing this work through me to talk to people and communicate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like you said, we grow every time we talk.
Right.
We're very transparent and honest with each other because all relationships or friendships need that, regardless of how it makes us feel. And we know that we're not coming into it with intentions of hurting your feelings. It's coming from a good place. So I feel like I've become complacent with not receiving from people, and I've been content with just being able to give what I, would require from people back to myself, or just, going and just like, all right, like talking to God when I just really feel like I don't have, what I need or what I'm not receiving what I require from people. I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's really hard, like so many factors and variables play into why you should cut somebody off. But then it's also like you get to the point of cutting people off. Now you grieving a person that's still here.
I think that it's one of those things that I don't want to say grieving. Well, I don't disagree with the grieving part because, like, it is one of those things where when you do cut someone off, I don't disagree with the grieving part. I think that grief is meant to come when you cut somebody off because it's not easy, and I think that people really think that you're heartless or you're a villain when you separate yourself from them. Like, I feel like with me, I'm very like I'm talkative, you know, but I'm also very reserved and I'm very observant of, you know, what's going on. Like I scope it out and I'm very laid back, and I feel like the moment that I have to speak up or speak on something that I've noticed for quite some time, and it results in me walking away from you or never speaking to you again. And not even so much like drastic of never speaking to you again, but for the time being, separating myself and creating some distance between us, it's a lot. And it was something that was necessary for me to do. Like, I don't before, and then when I mentioned that, you know, people, they meet you in a time where, yeah, you was probably all rah rah, you like to argue, you like to, you know, do everything that the version of you now that doesn't fly with me now. Like, I've owned the behaviors that I've exuded before and the way that I've handled certain situations before, and I thank her because it made me realize, okay, that worked then, it doesn't really work now, and it doesn't work for what I want to do with my life now and going forward, in the relationships that I want to develop and potentially maintain. It doesn't work now. But people, they see that, they don't see the growth that you made, they just see you for who you once were. So it's like, right now, if I ever have to cut you off, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not even going to tell you what you did. People be knowing what they do.
Bro.
You know, you know
People
what you
know
do.
exactly what they're doing, and they deflect.
You know what you're
until
doing.
They literally cannot deflect anymore.
You can't, like, and like I said, like, you can't pretend anymore. So if before it was so easy for me to ignore a passive comment or some form of passive behavior, because it's like, okay, you disguised it with a joke, or you, oh, I'm just, you know, I'm just saying, and it's not that deep, it's not that deep for you.
Right.
But for me, it's like, when you cut a person off, like I said, you're a villain. Pardon. You're a villain because, damn, like, it was really that deep for you to cut me off. Like, you couldn't we couldn't talk it out, or they try to bring up um your history, like, oh, we've been X, Y, and Z for this long, or we've had this kind of relationship for X, Y, and Z time. Um, what's call it? Yeah, we've been such and such for this long, or, you know, our relationship really didn't mean that much for you because you cut me off. And it's like,
Right.
are we not going to acknowledge why? Like, I that's something that I really get offended by, is that you're mad not at the cause, you mad at the effect. And we're not ever going to acknowledge the cause because you're not accountable. And I don't think it's my job to, yes, it is my job to hold people that I love accountable. You should. But it's not my job to hold you accountable if you don't ever intend to be accountable.
Right. You literally have no intentions on actually wanting to be a better person the way that you say. So, like, on the flip side of this question, cutting people off. Oh God, no mugs, please. We've been doing so good. How does it? I feel like I've been on both sides of, like. So for me, I'm not gonna front. It takes, like, drastic measures for me to cut people off, and I really do. I really don't like that about myself, because I'm always giving people chance after chance after chance. I am working on it though. It's been real strict around here now. So it's been real strict around here, but I have been very like passive and just giving people chance after chance after chance. So then it comes to like, okay, like I have, you know, on my radar when I should cut people off. But then it's like when people cut you off,
I have to respect that.
I totally respect it. But what I don't respect is do not cut me off and not take accountability for the reason behind us no longer speaking. So don't make it seem one-sided as if you just were this
You were fed up.
Yeah, like you just put in all this effort and try to make things right and were able to communicate exactly how you felt to kind of just get us to come back to a medium.
Right.
Knowing that's not what you did. Don't cut me off and lie.
You see, with that, and that again, I'm glad. I love the fact that when we talk, it just like before I even get to it, you got it. Like you right there. That enabling. It's the enabling. So when I personally don't do it. And if I have and didn't notice, again, I'll take accountability for it.
Right.
But I don't go looking for people to agree with me. So if I'm ever bringing something to you, it's not because, oh, we've been friends since we was this age and you gonna have my back through anything. That is the case. You're gonna have my back, but you're also going to tell me when I'm wrong. You don't have to know the person to agree with them. You don't have to know the person to disagree with them. It's the simple fact of if I'm telling you, and the thing about it is that when people go looking for enablers, they either find a person or people to enable them because you're not telling them everything. And I also feel like aside from you not telling a person everything and you probably telling them things that make them side with you,
Right.
it's also on them too. Comprehension is like a lack.
Right.
I think when you're being told something and it don't make sense to you because there's the gaps of, oh, well, why did that happen? Oh, I don't know. You know exactly why it happened. You simply want somebody to enable you. You want somebody to tell you, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, that's stupid. Or, yeah, that person was wrong. And it's like, you want somebody to enable you to the point where you're never wrong. You never have to take accountability. And again, like I said, if a person ever had to cut me off because I'm doing something that's making you feel uncomfortable or it's making you feel like I'm overstepping your boundaries or I'm, teetering the line of crossing your boundaries or I'm doing something that, again, you've already informed me, regardless whether we're having a conversation about an issue that we're having or a conversation about an issue that you've had with somebody else. I should have enough comprehension skills to say, okay, well, regardless whether you're coming out explicitly telling me, okay, this is a boundary or this is something that I don't like, if I'm listening to what you're saying and I can see the discomfort or I can understand or empathize with that discomfort, I'm never going to do that to you. I'm never going to put you in that predicament. And if I ever do, and it results in us being at a distance or us not having access to each other, I have to respect that. But with other people, it's the enabling. You want someone to enable you to the point where accountability is optional or it's forbidden. I don't have to be accountable because this person told me that I was wrong or this person told me that I was right. So I don't have to be accountable. When in reality, again, that person don't know all of the facts. And I'm not one that's going to clear up anything. Like if you go and you telling somebody whatever our issue was,
Please, by all means, stand on that.
Do whatever makes you feel comfortable. But then again, let's be real. It's shit comes out in the wash all the time. And like I said, I'm not an exception. So if you're going to do it to somebody else, so, and it also goes back to the addressing. If I've seen you communicate with other people, and when people address you or confront you about something that you did, whether it was intentionally or unintentionally, the way that you react and respond to what's being said to you is everything.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not an exception to the rule, because if I go to address with you that these things made me uncomfortable or these things made me feel a way, and you react and respond in the same way that you responded to everybody else, again, I don't want no parts of that. And I never feel like I should be an exception, but the way that I communicate and respond with you is the same way that you should communicate and respond with me. Like, if other people are argumentative and they get defensive with you when you bring up things with them, by all means, if that's what y'all do that. But over here, we not doing that. But again, and it's like with the enabling, people want to be enabled to the point where I'm never wrong. Like, I never have to say that I'm wrong, and I never have to apologize. And it's like, for a long time, and I would say this to mom, apologies are like band-aids to me. Like, people will they will inflict things onto you that a band-aid can't solve. It's like a gunshot wound. Like, you can't put a band-aid on a gunshot. Like, it's not going to be effective. So when it's time to apologize, like, if I'm wrong, I extend an apology to you, and it probably won't be, oh, I'm sorry, or my fault, or I apologize. It'll simply be, I understand where you coming from. Like, I see where you coming from. An apology is bigger than me. Like, I can't, and oh, I hate it. I absolutely hate it when a person, when they apologize and they say, I'm sorry that you feel like that. I don't feel like that for no reason. Like, I didn't make myself feel like this. But you justifying what you did. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, I see where it is. Um like a couple months ago, I vividly, and not even a couple months ago, last year, I made it very clear. And this is where, again, when I cut you off, it should never be a surprise to you. Like, you should never be surprised why I cut you off, because you did something that I've already told you that I did not like.
Right.
I say, to make it easy for us, keep me away from that. If you're still going to be involved with that, involved in a situation with somebody, keep me away from that. Because if you can watch someone, and not even just watch someone, if you can be informed that somebody did something that affected me, and still want to function around them, I'm good.
Right. See, and I think that is what messes me up, yo, because it's like, if, like you said, cutting me off is beneficial to you, who am I to stop you?
Right.
I would never, ever want somebody to keep me around just because.
Right.
And it's so crazy because I literally watched the TikTok the other day. And she basically was saying, like, you got to realize when you're a just because, like, people keep you as a placeholder. And I'm like, in my head, I feel like sometimes I be like, this person would never do me like that. person did me like that, and I'm still like, nah, well, they ain't mean it like that.
They ain't mean it like that.
And people will literally keep you as a placeholder on the back burner just because they know that you're gonna show up for them every single time, despite what they did to you. And I was just like, damn, that's good. Like, wow, because it's like, I think that we all are empaths. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all, we need to really not feel like we need to use other people to fill a void of what we really need to.
You gotta
you gotta decode it and figure out on your own without using somebody as a placeholder. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just like, I've shown up consistently in multiple friendships, and I have yet to even receive anything back. And like I said, I'm not the type of person that needs. I don't need, like you to be like, oh yeah, like thank you for showing up. It will be appreciated, but I just would want you to feel my genuine energy, really wanting things to be better for you. You know what I'm saying? Or just for me to be there for you. But it's just like people, I just people get to a point where it's like I feel like they've been enabled for so long, where like you said, they literally are around people who make them feel like they can do absolutely
anything.
no wrong. And it's just, for me, I just like, from the outside looking in, it's just like, one, how are you, like, how is this still sitting on your conscience?
You feel good about yourself.
How are you going to sleep at night knowing that you're enabling people bullshit? And you're okay with it, even though you already know how this person is outside of you being in it being a mutual friendship or mutual relationship.
It's the enabling.
How are you okay with enabling bullshit or hanging around with people who you know
I don't want to
is
say
a common denominator?
it's not. I don't want to say it's just the enabling. It's like I said, the exception. Everybody feels like they're an exception because that's so and so to me. They're never going to do me like that. They're never going to put me in a predicament where I have to look at them very differently.
Right.
Like, again, you don't ever want to cut somebody off. You don't want to. Like, you don't go into a situation with, all right, I know that I'm going to cut you off.
Not going far.
It's not going far. It's like, I don't even want to put fucking bugs. What's it called? I don't even want to put myself in, or you, in that space where, okay, well, shit, we only been whatever we were for X amount of time, and then, all right, this was the trial period, we done now. Nah, like, I don't go into any relationship like that. I feel like you got one time, and especially if I'm just meeting you, you have one time to show me that whatever it is that I, not even what I saw you as, but what you were showing me was not the truth or was not the case. Like I said, last year, when I present myself to people, I don't give a damn. Like, people, they call me an asshole all the time. Like, I'm mean, I'm all of these things. I'm a very kind person. I'm not a nice person. But seriously,
Maybe
like,
I'm the kind, not nice.
I'm kind. Like, I don't mind being kind to people. Like,
Right.
But you gotta work for that. Like, I'm not going to
It's
just
not handed out.
giving you, all of that kindness just because. Like, I'm kind because, again, I was raised to be that way. I was raised to, have manners and respect people. But respect is contingent upon the things that you do. Love, on the other hand, love is free. Like, I love you forever. If I love you once, I'll love you for a lifetime.
Right.
My respect is another thing. If you show me that you're weird, and we'll get into that, but if you show me that you're weird and you move weirdly for no reason, absolutely no reason,
or a reason
that's
can't understand.
like you did it for no reason. Like
Right.
you do weird things for no reason. So I ask, hey, keep me away from that. You know, I don't want no parts of that.
Mm-hmm.
If that's where you are, great. Like it's still gonna make me side eye you a bit because you you saw this and it's like, okay, well, oh, but I said this and this to them. It's like, okay, great. I don't know what the conversation was. I don't even know if the conversation actually happened.
Right.
But if I'm asking you to keep me away from that, and every time you and I are in a space of hanging out or having quality time, that person is calling. And it's like they know where you at. They know what you're doing because y'all talk all the time. Right. You know what the schedule going you know what the coming schedule is gonna be. And it's like you take that call during our time. And it's like, okay, you on this call during our quality time. And it's like, okay, I asked you not to. And then it keeps happening.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I give grace.
The first time. That's it though.
Because again, all right, I can't control that. You can.
Right.
And instead of you again acknowledging the fact that I said something to you, regardless whether you remember the date, the time, the season,
it was still addressed.
I addressed that with you. When I address something with you, and whether you confirm, okay, I hear you, whatever it is, once you are receptive to what I say, all right, moving forward, you are no longer making a mistake, you're making a choice. And I can't respect that going forward. I can love you, but I can't respect that choice that you keep making, because now you're telling me this thing that I'm putting in place here, this boundary that I'm putting here, is not respected. And if you can't respect my boundaries, I'm not a separate entity from my boundaries. And that's for anybody. So in that, if I ever have to remove myself, it's because I said something to you once. Like, I understand, like, it's not a problem to give people chances, but I'm not giving you a chance to keep doing the same thing.
Right.
I'm not giving you a chance to keep showing me that
you have no respect.
You don't got no, like, you don't,
for my boundaries.
You don't respect me as a whole. So when I cut you off, it's not to be malicious, it's not to get even or match energies with you. It's the simple fact that, again, I'm protecting myself because you're not going to. And if you're, whether you allow somebody to be weird to a person that you claim to care for and still proceed to deal with that person and tell me, oh, well, they do weird stuff all the time. I'm not, you can enable that behavior. I'm not. I won't be a part of that because, again, even if it's something small, I'm good. I'm absolutely good. But also having my business told. Seriously, having my business told is something that you just cover it. Cover it to see. Is it green? Let me see.
Is that?
It was.
Oh wow! So that means it probably didn't catch all of that. I didn't say anything. That was crazy though. So.
That's all right. I also feel like with my business being told, That's another main reason why I have to cut you off, because you, regardless whether it's public knowledge or private, my business should never be relayed to somebody else. And
Unless it's coming from my
me,
mouth.
right? And I wouldn't care if I knew the person that you said it to. I wouldn't care what they do with it, if they're going to do anything with it. It's the fact that, again, you broke a law. Like, I don't feel like it got to be anything else. You could have done drastic shit. The fact that you did this is grounds for a removal of you from me
Immediately.
Like,
there's that, I feel like, is a non-negotiable for me.
Right.
Even if you try to like dumb it down as like you playing, that is all. I don't find it funny, like you joking around about, even if you didn't come out just outright and say, oh yeah, XYZ, whatever. Like, even about you joking about my business is something that I don't fuck with that.
I don't.
Because it's like, are you I don't understand how that would be a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, she probably back messing with XYZ, or she probably doing da 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 da, like trying to, like, you don't try to subtly disrespect me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or subtly come for my character, or subtly tell my business while trying to be funny, so that because you already know, like, oh, like, yeah, this is I feel like when people tell your business, I don't even know how I feel about that. Like, because it's like, it just infuriates me, because probably because I would not allow myself to do that to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? That I would never, what we talk about, regardless if you give me the permission to say, oh yeah, it ain't nothing that bad, like, you could talk about it, I still would not feel comfortable doing that, whether you were there or whether you were not there. Like, it's
Permission or
just
no permission.
word. Like, I that's just it wouldn't feel right coming from me, because it's not something that I actually experienced. You know what I'm saying? I may have gone through the experience with you, or I may have come at the end of your experience trying to help you see. Look at the dragonfly again. It's blue. Sorry, just like, and then these people just keep making me lose my train of thought. Yeah, like, I came, and I'm here to help you get through whatever you need to get through. You know what I'm saying? But I won't be like, oh yeah, she told me I could. She told me she didn't really care about it, and then I'm like jokingly like, yeah, like, Diamond was fucked up. Like, she was fucked up. Like, she was da 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 da. Like, jokingly,
Right.
regardless, like I said, if I have your permission or not. That's not something that I would joke with, because if the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't be happy if you was voicing, oh yeah, like, she said she didn't really care that much, but yeah, like,
I don't think telling a person's business is a conversation piece. Like, I don't care in any instance. Like,
at all.
when it was said to me, I was like, and it wasn't like, okay, somebody else came to me. That person came to me and they were like, yeah, like, I kind of mentioned, and it wasn't even that I kind of mentioned, like, I said it because, and then tried to justify it. And it was like, it was in that moment where I'm like, okay, I kind of like removed myself. And another thing that I realized that people do is that when you're at a distance from them and you're not really talking to them as much, and not even because you want to teach them a lesson, because you learned a lesson, and you're no longer blinded. You're no longer. Okay. Hold on.
It's gonna get really busy now. I feel like they just it's 11 o'clock, so everybody about to try to come out here.
Is that the cherry dome over there? Over there, that's the cherry dome? Oh, look. The dome's over there.
This is probably a good time to cut that.
We're okay. We're not gonna let. Nope. Right here? No. Okay, okay. A little bit farther. Okay. Yeah, I know. Water, I know. Hi, folks. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
You have a blessed day?
Pretty good.
Amen. Look at that. You're brave. Look who's here. Look who's here.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah, I don't feel like your business is a conversation piece for anybody. So it was like, when you're at a distance from someone, they try to gauge the temperature. Like, they'll try to allow time to be a consolation for, okay, I noticed that, you're not around as much, or, is everything all right with us?
Right.
Not really. Oh, well, why you didn't say anything? I didn't have to. Like,
You felt it the same way I felt it.
like, again, like, there's no with stuff like that. I hate when people try to make it seem as if you're not a person. Like, if I say something, if in this time that we've been together, if at any when we go home and I didn't feel too good about the conversation that we had, and I picked up on the energy that when you left, it wasn't how it normally was. I reflect on, okay, the entire conversation that we had. Did I say something that might have rubbed her the wrong way, or did I do something to make her feel a certain way? And if I did, what was that? Like, I feel like everybody does that. And the fact that people try to play clueless of, oh, well, I don't know what happened, or it was kind of like random that you just stopped talking to me. It wasn't random. Like, you're well aware of what happened. So
Real brave. Mommy brave too. You were real brave today coming out there. Last time he didn't want to come out at all. He cried.
Of course it's cold. What do you see? You don't expect it. It's not a spa. They're not going to heat the water up for you.
Why would he just put his hand in that dirty ass water? What the heck?
Yeah, like, people, they try to gauge the temperature and try to play clueless because, again, they want that reaction from you. They want you to react in a way that they're used to, or that they've made that narrative to be for you.
More people. What in the world? Sidebar. I actually keep having this thought about starting a podcast, but I just don't know if I have enough time. I don't have like enough time in a day, but I feel like I be talking some, like, I address like real life stuff that needs to be addressed, I would have a time of my
think you
life with a
could.
podcast.
Like I was telling mom last night, like I don't think everybody should have a podcast. 'Cause
No.
people be talking bullshit.
Bullshit.
But I think when you have things that, again, that hold substance, not just because it's happening in your life, but because it's relatable, I think you should. Like I say, go for it. I'm in a season of fuck it, why not? Like just do it. Like
No, literally though.
it doesn't matter. Like I don't know, when I thought to do this, it's like our conversations came to mind, and the fact that when, like I said, like you said, when we talk, there's a whole bunch of growth that does happen, and I feel like every time that we do have a deep conversation,
You have some breakthrough, bro. I can even get my words out.
you feel good. Like
Mhm.
you feel like, okay, somebody is actually listening to you, somebody's actually taken into account, like, yeah, you've grown. Like I love that when you're able to express yourself, even
Right.
if your voice cracks, even if you draw a blank here and there, you're still able to complete whatever it is that you're feeling. And you feel like, again, it's not coming from a place of, oh, I only understand you because we're friends, or I only understand you because I only under I only understand you because we have a relationship. Nah, like I understand you because shit, I be going through it too. And even if I wasn't going through it, I still empathize with you because you're able to explain that feeling. You're able to get it out.
You know what, like people have been telling me a lot lately, and it's just like making me like, I feel like right now I'm in a space of really just trying to like figure out exactly like what my purpose is, because I feel like I have so many things that I want to do in this lifetime, and I feel like just finding my purpose and like really standing on it. But people have told me, like, because like I said, like this year has been heavy. Over the past year and a half, it's been heavy but very like fulfilling. Like I've heard time and time again that people do not like you anymore because you are not what you've been through. You don't look like what you've been through.